morning students. Today I am going to discuss about seed, apomixis, polyembryony and parthenocarpy. Okay. So, in the last video I had explained you what is a fertilization, how the fertilization takes place. All those things I have explained. So today we will discuss about seed, apomixis, polyembryony, parthenography. Okay. So first I am moving on to the introduction. In the introduction, in the title slide, explain you a lot of information about the seed. So if you are taking a seed, this is a sizer seed. That means கொண்டக்கடலை சென்னா in தமிழ் வந்து கொண்டக்கடலை சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, முக்கல்ல, அந்த 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 அதோட சீடு, அந்த கடலை பற்றி அதோட சீட், இட் இஸ் ஆக்டிங் as seed to bring a future plant. ஸோ அதை பற்றி நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறோம். எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஃபார் த டைகாட் seed is, that is our sizer seed or our chenna. Okay. So this is just showing the structure of the seed. Okay, this is the entire of the seed. First one seed is looking like normal seed. So it is a sprouted seed. Okay, so you know that what is a sprouted seed, and this is called a radicle. What is called radicle? Last year I had explained you radicle is become as a future root of the plant, and plumule is coming as the future stem and leaf, flower, fruit, everything coming from the shoot or the stem. So the stem is derived or the developing from the plumule of the seed. Okay, and testa and radicle, seed cut open. If you are seeing cut and open the seed, you will be able to appreciate the two cotyledons. What is that? Two cotyledon you can appreciate. So you have to know what is the radicle and what is the plumule and what is the testa. This is a layer which separating the cotyledon from the endosperm is called the testa. Okay, so these are all the basic informations you should know about the seed. Okay, coming on to the introduction, if you see the introduction slide, the fertilization ovule is called a seed. Yes, fertilized ovule, the pollen tube is coming, the pollen tube is releasing the male gametophytes as we saw in the last previous videos, and it releases these male gametophytes. So this male gametophyte, it is united, fertilized with the ovule, fertilized with the female gametophyte of the ovule. At last we are getting the zygote. From the zygote we are getting the seed. Okay, so this seed, fertilized ovule, is called the seed. What are all the parts which is presenting in the seed? We all know seed. What is a seed? Every fruit, most of the fruit, if you are taking, the fruit should consisting of seed. Okay, so there is no fruit without the seed, you cannot see. Okay, so seed is very important, right? So if you are taking a seed, the seed consisting of three parts, important parts, you should know that. That is embryo, endosperm and a protective coat. Okay, these are all the main important parts of the seed. Seeds may be endospermous or non-endospermous. What is an endosperm? In the last video we have explained a lot about the endosperm. Endosperm meaning is it is a triple fusion. It is a triple fusion. Fertilization is giving a endosperm. This endosperm will give you a lot of informations, and there is in the one male gametophyte, and it which is fused with the two polar nuclei of the or the secondary nuclei. So two polar nuclei of the ovule or the secondary nuclei of the ovule, which is get united with the male gametophyte just before the fertilization. So this is a triple N, 3N. That is, what is that? 3N means it consisting of 3 number of chromosomes. So you should not say here haploid or the diploid. You should say it is a triploid. Okay, this triploid chromosomes should be there. So endosperm consists of, the endosperm of angiosperms will have the triploid chromosomes. So you may ask they may ask you questions in the NEET exams and all competitive exams, like what is the endosperm chromosomal count of angiosperms. Definitely they will ask the question, and it is a ploidy number. The ploidy number, that is the chromosomal number of endosperm of the angiosperms, that is 3N. That is 2 N is from the secondary nuclei. 1 N from the our male gametophyte. So totally it is a triple fusion. 3 nuclei going to get uniting and producing the endosperm. What is the function of endosperm? Why I am stressing a lot? It is very important. It is giving a nutrition to the growing embryo. So always the embryo is there in the seed, in the middle part. That embryo is surrounded by the endosperm. The endosperm role is to give the nutrition to the embryo is called the endosperm. And around the endosperm is called protective coat. So that is called the protective coat. Seeds again maybe two types, that is endospermous and non-endosperm. Seeds will be there in all fruits, but some fruits will have the endosperm, some fruits does not have the non-endosperm. So seeds may be endospermous, example wheat, maize, barley and sunflower. So these things will have the endosperms. So the wheat always nutrited, wheat of the seed is always nutrited by endosperm. If you are taking orchids, cucurbits, mango, beans, all will be not supplied by the endosperm. You may ask the question, who will supply the nutrition to this particular non-endospermous fruits? You may ask the question. Yes, here the cotyledon will be there. The seed itself will give the nutrients. Okay. So what is the cucurbits? You may ask the question. Cucurbits means nothing but the watermelon, muskmelon. All those fruits will come under the family of cucurbits. Okay. So next I am coming to that. There are two types of seeds is there. We have studied in the last year in our plant kingdom lesson. That is dicot seed and monocot seed. Dicot seed and monocot seed. The dicot seed is, you know that if it is having a two cotyledons, two seeds, it is called dicot seed. If it is having only one cot, that is called only one seed, it is called one cotyledon, or the seed is called monocotyledon. So sizer seed is as the dicotyledon. I already told you sizer means that is our chenna. In Tamil it is called kondakadalai or mukkalle. Okay. So if you are taking the sprouted of our sizer seed. Okay. Molakatti vecha and the payre edutittu we are going to cut opening and view it under the microscope. So microscope la paathom appadina will microscope illa manual ave வெளியவும் பார்க்கலாம், மைக்ரோஸ்கோப்லயும் சில microscopic structures பார்க்கலாம். Okay, what are all the structures which is present in the dicot seed? Example, sizer seed. Okay, mature seed is attached with the fruit wall by the stalk called funiculus. Yes, how the fruit is fused with the seed because of the stack of the funiculus. You know that what is a funiculus, I have taken in the previous videos. Okay, and which is disappears later and leaving as a scar. That scar is called hilum. Yes, always seed is fused with the fruit wall by the help of stalk called funiculus. Yes, ovule of the funiculus is become as the stack to connecting the fruit wall as well as the seed, and which is become later leaving a scar and leaving as a scar called hilum. Below the hilum there is a small pore opening. What it could be? You may think, yes, definitely pore will be there. So it is our micropyle of the ovule is become a small pore in the future. So it is used to do entry of the oxygen and water to the seed. Oxygen and water to the seed and fruit by the small pore, which is nutriting the our fruit and seed. Outer covering called seed coat. So seed coat is developed from the integument. Yes, integument, you know that outer integument, inner integument. Two integument layer is there in and around the ovule. So integument is future is developing as a seed coat. You know that seed coat is very rough and hard. That will be developed from the integuments. Outer coat is called testa, is very hard. Inner coat is called thin and membranous, is called tegmen. So two types of coats is there in the seed. Outer coat is called testa, inner coat is called the tegmen. The outer coat nature will be a very thick and it is hard, and if you are seeing the tegmen, it is very thin and membranous. Okay, if you are taking a pea plant, the tegmen and testa is fused. Yes, in some plants the fruits will be fused, that both tegmen and testa, that is inner coat outer coat, are fused. We cannot differentiate here. Okay, two cotyledon. How the cotyledon? I told you two seeds, how it is arranged, how it is attached. Look on to the picture. It's saying that is the two seeds are laterally arranged. I explained you in the class how the medial position, how the lateral position of the plant. Okay, so if you're seeing the on the either side of the axis, fruit axis, you can appreciate the two cotyledon. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா அந்த நேரா இருக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த குச்சி மாதிரி இருக்கு இல்லையா, அதை என்ன சொல்லணும், fruit axis அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். அதுக்கு ரெண்டு பக்கத்துல இருக்கு இல்லையா seed, அதை என்ன சொல்லணும், that is called the two cotyledon attached on laterally. லேட்டரலான ஒரு விஷயம், ஒரு குச்சி ஒரு நடுவில் நிற்குது அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு ரெண்டு பக்கமும் ரெண்டு சீடு மாதிரி இருக்குது அப்படின்னா அது லேட்டரலாக இருக்குது அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லணும். இந்த சைடு அந்த சைடுன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. ஓகே, you should say it is a laterally two cotyledon are arranged on the axis. What axis it is? Embryonic axis or seed axis னு கூட சொல்லலாம். But embryonic axis is very comfortable and term. Okay, it stores the food material of the peas, other seeds like castor. Endosperm contains a reserve food and other cotyledons are thin. So the portion above the embryonal axis. Okay, so you know that what is a plumule, what is a radicle. I explained you in the title slide. Plumule is the future plant, future stem of the plant. Radicle is a future root of the plant. If you are taking a cotyledon, the cotyledon is seed of the plant. Testa and tegmen. Testa is outer coat, it is very thick and hard in nature. Inner coat is thin and membranous. Okay, so both the things is there. Okay, along with that there is two more terms is there. So portion above the embryonal axis. What is embryonal axis? ஒரு embryonal ஒரு part, ஒரு point, ஒரு particular pointல இருந்து இந்த cotyledon arise ஆகிற place க்கு பேர் தான் இது embryonal axis. Yes, so in embryonal axis the cotyledon is called the epicotyl, whereas the cylindrical region between the cotyledon is called a hypocotyl. Yes, you see this arrow mark, this is a cylindrical region which is presenting at the level of the cotyledon. So cotyledon இந்த level வரைக்கும் இருக்கு. Okay, so இதுல இருந்து இது வரைக்கும் இருக்கு. Yes, so till that. Okay, in between this level there is in the cylindrical region is called the hypocotyl. Okay, and the hypocotyl is later developing as a radicle is future developing as a root, and this is the plumule. Here you can see the epicotyl region. So the portion above the embryonal axis, this is embryonal axis and this is the level of cotyledon. Here some cylindrical region is called the hypocotyl, which is the future it is developing as a radicle and it is developing as a root. But if you are seeing the above the embryonal axis, that is called the epicotyl. Epicotyl is future is become a plumule. So you all understand about this cyser seed, that is example of dicot seed. Now I will move on to the monocot seed. Monocot seed, that is structure of oryza seed, that is monocot seed. Monocot seeds, oryza, you know that oryza what we are telling, that is our paddy, நெல்லு, right? நம்ம நெல்லுன்னு தான் சொல்லுவோம் paddy, right? Englishல அதுக்கு botanical name is oryza seed. The seed of the paddy, one seeded, is called caryopsis. ஒரு பேர் இருக்கு, one seedல இருக்கு, இது வந்து one seeded, ஒரே ஒரு seed மட்டும் தான் இருக்கும் paddyல, அதனால அது பேர் என்ன, caryopsis, enclosed by brownish husk. Yes, என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, அது தவிடு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல தமிழ்ல, அதுதான் brownish husk அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. Which consisting of looms arranged in the two rows, ரெண்டு rows அது வந்து arrange ஆயிருக்கு. And this seed coat is brownish membranous layer closely adhered to the grain. So இது என்னது, உள்ள இருக்க அந்த ரைஸோட நல்லா க்ளோஸா அரேஞ்ச் ஆயிருக்கு. எது, that is our husk. Okay, endosperm forms the bulk of the grain and it is the storage tissue. So இதுக்குள்ள this if you are seeing this picture will explain you, this full part is endosperm which is fully supplying and storing the food materials or the reserve materials for this seed. It is separated from the embryo definite layer called epithelium. Yes, if it is separated from the embryo and the endosperm are separated by the layer called epithelium is going to separate the endosperm as well as the epithelium. The embryo is small and consisting of one shield shape. இந்த embryo shape பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா எப்படி இருக்கு, it is like shield, somewhat shield cotyledon. shield shapeல இருக்க ஒரு cotyledonனா என்னது அப்படின்னா, that's name is scutellum. The shape of the cotyledon of the oryza is called scutellum. Okay, so a short axis with the protective sheath is called coleoptile and coleorrhiza. Okay, what is a coleoptile and coleorrhiza? So this is the protective sheath. Okay, is here the protective sheath. These protective sheath protecting the radicle and root cap. You know that radicle is later is become a root. Root will be always covered with root cap. So root cap also covered by coleorhiza. And what is called the coleoptile? Coleoptile means it is in the this is the shoot apex. This is developing as a shoot in the later in the future plant, and this shoot apex or the plumule will be covered by protective sheath is called coleoptile. So coleoptile, coleorhiza are the new terms you are going to read about in the oryza seed. That is a monocots, that is coleorhiza, which is a protective sheath for radicle and root cap, and coleoptile is a protective sheath for the shoot apex. Okay, the scutellum is supplies the growing embryo with food material that is absorbed from the endosperm with the help of epithelium. Yes, so there is on the epithelium. I told this epithelium is well cleared and separated from the embryo as well as the this endosperm. This embryo is getting a food from the endosperm and it is supplying to the growing embryos, absorbed, and it is with the help of the epithelium. Okay. Next I am coming to the apomixis. This is very important, 3 marks for you. Apomixis is nothing but generally the flower fertilization in the flowering plants is called the amphimixis. What is that called? Amphimixis. But there is in the sexual system is takes place in the flowering plants is called apomixis. So 2 terms is there. We are going to deal with only apomixis. But in between you will be having some separate word is called amphimixis. Amphimixis, you should know the differentiation of amphimixis and apomixis. Amphimixis means there is in the fertilization in the flowering plants is called the amphimixis. But there is no male and female gamete fusion is takes place. But there is the production of embryos takes place. How it is? So that process is called apomixis. Who introduced this term? Winkler in the year of 1908. Okay. Okay. It does not involve any meiosis and syngamy. Okay, Purujit. Okay, next. Maheshwari. That is our Panchanan Maheshwari in the year of 1950. There are 2 types of the recurrent and non-recurrent types. What is that? Recurrent apomixis, non-recurrent. Recurrent apomixis, that is vegetative reproduction, you have studied in the first topic in this same lesson, and agamospermy. A non-recurrent apomixis means haploid embryo sac is developed after the meiosis, develops into embryo without the fertilization. There is no fertilization, but there is an embryo production is there. So that is a non-recurrent apomixis. Okay. Next I am coming to the types of the recurrent apomixis. This is your textbook diagram only. They are telling you vegetative reproduction. What is a vegetative reproduction? You know that there is on the shoot, there is in the root, leaf, everything which will propagate and giving a separate plant is called vegetative reproduction, except the seeds. Other than the seed, other parts, if it is giving a propagation of the same plant is called vegetative reproduction. Example, the bulbous, that is Fritillaria imperialis, and bulbous, you know that Allium, and runner is Mentha, and sucker is Chrysanthemum. Agamospermy is again divided into 3 types. What is that? That is adventive embryony. If you are taking adventive embryony, diplospory, apospory, all these 3 topics will have a same one word. That is a diploid sporophytic cell, diploid embryo sac, and here also diploid. Okay. So the diploid sporocytic cells are produced nucellus. You know that nucellus is a type of cells which is present in the ovule, as well as the integument is a covering of the ovule. These 2 cells are collectively called sporophytic cells. Okay, this is does not involve in the sexual reproduction of the plants. So that it is called somatic cells or the sporophytic cells. These sporophytic cells will give the diploid, so that it is also called sporophytic budding. Okay, from this there is in the diploid embryo is produced, so that it is called sporophytic budding. Example, citrus and magnifera. Citrus is a lemon and a citrus lemon family, and magnifera means that is our mango fruits and all. If you are taking a diplospory, it is also called a generative apospory. So the diplospory, diploid embryo sac, is formed from the megaspore mother cell, but without the regular mitotic division. There is in the megaspore mother cells is there, that giving the diploid embryo sac, but without the meiotic division is called the diplospory. Example, Eupatropium and nerva. These are all the example plant for the diplospory. If you are taking apospory, megaspore mother cell undergoes their normal meiosis and 4 megaspore formed gradually. Yes. What they are telling? Megaspore mother cell generally undergoing a normal meiosis process so that it is giving a 4 megaspore daughter which is gradually disappears in nucellar cells. Again nucellar cells is get activated and giving a embryo sac, diploid embryo sac. Again it is giving a diploid embryo sac. So here also diploid embryo sac, diploid embryo sac. So all are a diploid embryo sac only. So you can read, you can analyze and read, and so that you can easily keep it in the mind. Okay. So this is called somatic apospory. Its example is Hieracium and Parthenium. This Parthenium already we have seen in the protandry. Protgyne is the example for the, that is the gynoecium part of the plant first matured, then the androecium part is later matured. That is example Parthenium we have seen. It is seen in the carrot grass. And polyembryony. What is called polyembryony? More than one embryo seed, if we are seeing more than one embryo in the one particular seed, is called polyembryony. So it is reported by the Anton von Leeuwenhoek in the year of 1719. Okay, so there are 4 types of polyembryony is there. Cleavage polyembryony. What is called cleavage polyembryony? Cleavage polyembryony is used in the orchids, fruits. And if you are taking a formation of the embryo by the cells of the embryo sac other than the egg. இதுக்கு தமிழ்ல மீனிங் என்ன சொல்லலாம்னா எக்கில் எம்ப்ரியோ சாக்கை தவிர எம்ப்ரியோ ஃபார்ம் ஆயிருக்கு, பட் மெனி எம்ப்ரியோ ஃபார்ம் ஆயிருக்கு. எம்ப்ரியோ சாக் மட்டும்தான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணியிருக்கு. எம்ப்ரியோவில் எங்கில் இருக்க மற்ற பார்ட் கிடையாது. தட் இஸ் நியூசெல்லஸ் ஆர் த இன்டெக்மெண்ட், இந்த பார்ட்டெல்லாம் இல்லாமல் எம்ப்ரியோ சாக்குக்குள்ளே இருக்க ஆன்டிபோடல் செல்ஸு, சினர்ஜிட்ஸு அண்ட் எண்டோஸ்போம் இதெல்லாம் வந்து சேர்ந்து ஒரு எம்ப்ரியோ செல்ஸை ஃபார்ம் பண்ணியிருக்கு. ஸோ தட் தேர் டெல்லிங் ஃபார்மேஷன் ஆஃப் எம்ப்ரியோ பை செல்ஸ் ஆஃப் எம்ப்ரியோ சாக், நாட் பை த எக். ஓகே. ஸோ எக்ஸாம்பிள் சினர்ஜிட்ஸ் அரிஸ்டலாக்கியா, ஆன்டிபோடல்ஸ் எக்ஸாம்பிள் அல்மஸ் பிளான்ட், எண்டோஸ்போம் எக்ஸாம்பிள் பனானோஃபோரா. So these are all the 3 plants. In these 3 plants, in Aristolochia plant, if you are taking the synergids, plays a major role in the formation of many embryos in the single seed. And antipodals, Almos plant, and endosperm, Balanophora. Okay, in that Almus they have given in the diagram. Okay, I'll show you later. Development of more than one embryo sac within the same ovule is derivatives of a same MMC. MMC means megaspore mother cell. Yes. Development of more than one embryo sac. Now we have seen the embryo by embryo sac cells. Here more than one embryo sac within the same ovule, that is done by, it is maybe derivatives of single mother megaspore cells or the derivatives of 2 or more types of megaspore mother cells. Example Casuarina. Okay, Casuarina. Next, activation of some sporophytic cells of the ovules. That is example sporophytic cells I explained you in the last slide. Nucellus integument or does not involve in the fertilization process, so that it is called sporophytic cells. Is sporophytic cells also activated and producing the polyembryony, that is citrus example and syzygium. Okay, syzygium. Okay, next practical applications. What is the practical application? Yes, nucellar tissue producing polyembryonic fruits will be used better clones for the orchids. Orchids na தமிழ்ல பழத்தோட்டம். நிறைய நமக்கு பழம் கிடைக்கும். எதனால? இந்த பாலிஎம்ப்ரியோனினால. இந்த பாலிஎம்ப்ரியோனி எதுலேருந்து டெவலப் ஆகுது? நியூசெல்லா டிஷ்யூஸ்லேருந்து டெவலப் ஆகுது. ஓகே, ஸோ நமக்கு வந்து இந்த நியூசெல்லா டிஷ்யூ இருக்க இந்த சிட்ரஸ் குரூப் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ், அதாவது இந்த லெமன், ஆரஞ்ச், இது எல்லாத்துலேயுமே ஸ்வீட் லைம், இது எல்லாத்துலேயுமே நம்ம நியூசெல்லா டிஷ்யூ பேஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு வர பாலிஎம்ப்ரியோனி வந்து நமக்கு ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக எங்கே யூஸ் ஆகுது அப்படின்னா, இட் இஸ் ப்ரொடியூசிங் அ பெட்டர் க்ளோன்ஸ். பெட்டர் க்ளோன்ஸ்னால் என்ன? அதோட ஜெனட்டிக்கலி ஃபிசிக்கலி பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னாவே நமக்கு வந்து என்ன எப்படி இருக்குது அப்படின்னா, பயாலஜிக்கலாகவுமே எப்படி இருக்குது அப்படின்னா நல்ல ஒரு க்ளோன்ஸாக இருக்குது, நல்ல ஒரு ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. தட் இஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த அப்ளிகேஷன். ஒன் மோர் இஸ் பாலிஎம்ப்ரியோனி ஆர் ஃபவுண்ட் வைரஸ் ஃப்ரீ. பாலிஎம்ப்ரியோனி பார்த்தேன் அப்படின்னா வைரஸ் ஃப்ரீயான ஒரு embryonic structure இருக்குது. That is one of the most important application. Okay, next this is just a diagram, that's all. So polyembryony பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it is a embryo sac. ஸோ இதில் பார்த்தோன்னா ஜைகோட்டிக் எம்ப்ரியோ, திஸ் இஸ் எண்டோஸ்போம், எண்டோஸ்போமில் சில நியூக்ளியஸ் இருக்குது. ஆன்டிபோடல் எம்ப்ரியோஸ், there are some different types of embryos is there. This is a polyembryony. Example, Almas glabra showing the polyembryony. Finally, I am coming to the parthenocarpy. What is a parthenocarpy? Yes. So, in sometimes you may see the fruit-like structures in the plant without the act of the fertilization. Fertilization irukadu, but fruit mari or structure irukum. And such fruits is called parthenocarpic fruits. Invariably, they will not have any true seeds. Okay. அதோட கேரக்டரிஸ்டிக் ஃபீச்சர் என்ன அப்படின்னா, பேத்தனோகார்பின்னு ஒரு விஷயத்தை நீ சொல்கிறேன்னா அது எப்படி சொல்கிறேன்னா, அந்த ஃப்ரூட்டில் கண்டிப்பாக சீட்ஸ் இருக்காது. ஓகே, மெனி கமர்ஷியல் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் ஆர் மேட் சீட்லெஸ். நம்ம சாப்பிட்ற பனானா, கிரேப்ஸ் அண்ட் பப்பாயா, ஈவன் நீ பன்னீர் திராட்சை எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா கூட உள்ள சீட்ஸ் இருக்கிறது இல்லை. பிகாஸ் எல்லாமே என்னது அப்படின்னா ஹைப்ரிட் வெரைட்டி இருக்குது. நார்மலான ஃப்ரூட்ஸுமே சில டைம் சீடு இல்லாத ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் கொடுக்குது. So next, how it is classified. So Nitz abdinravuru in the year of 1963, he said about parthenocarpy and what are the types of parthenocarpy. Genetic parthenocarpy. Genetic parthenocarpy means hybridization or mutation may causes the genetic parthenocarpy. Example, citrus and cucurbit. Cucurbit, that is watermelon, muskmelon, all the plants is called, and pumpkin, these are all the cucurbit plants. And environmental parthenocarpy means that is frost, fog, low temperature, high temperature induces the parthenocarpy. Example, ஒரு லோ டெம்பரேச்சரில் 3 to 19 degrees சென்டிகிரேடில் ஒரு பிளான்ட்டை நம்ம வச்சோம் அப்படின்னா அந்த பிளான்ட்டு என்விரான்மெண்டலாக parthenocarpic ஸ்டேஜுக்கு போயிட்டு it will produces the no seed in the fruit. Example, pear fruit. Okay, next, chemically induced parthenocarpy, that is auxin and gibberellins. Auxin, gibberellins it is a growth promoting hormones. இந்த ஹார்மோன்ஸ் அப்ளை பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா it will definitely chemically it is become a parthenocarpic. Okay, what is the significance at last? Yes, seedless have a great significance in the horticulture. If you are going the horticulture, இந்த நர்சரிஸ்லாம் போனீங்க, பிளான்ட் நர்சரிஸ்லாம் போனால் அவங்க கொடுக்குற ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் செடி எல்லாமே எப்படி இருக்கும், எல்லாமே பார்த்னோகார்பிக் டைப்பில் தான் இருக்கும். ஓகே, அதுதான் கமர்ஷியல் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் ஆல்சோ. நெக்ஸ்ட், ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் ஆஃப் நம்ம சாப்பிட்ற ஜாம்ஸ், ஜெல்லிஸ், சாஸ், ஃப்ரூட் ட்ரிங்க்ஸ் எல்லாமே வந்து ஆல் ஆர் பார்த்னோகார்பிக் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ்லேருந்து ரெடி பண்ணுற jams and jellies saucesலேருந்து தான் கொடுக்குறாங்க. And if you are taking a seedless fruits, that is high preparation of edible part. Okay, ஸோ நீ எடுத்துக்கிட்ட கிரேப்ஸு, பப்பாயா, இது எல்லாத்துலேயுமே சீடு இருக்காது, பட் நம்ம சாப்பிட்ற ஃப்ளஷி பார்ட் வில் பி மோர். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வாட் தே ஆர் கிவன் ஹியர் ஆஸ் அ ஹை ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் ஆஃப் எடிபிள் பார்ட். நம்ம எடிபிள் பார்ட் சாப்பிட்ற பார்ட்டை தான் எடிபிள் பார்ட் சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த எடிபிள் பார்ட் எப்படி இருக்குது அப்படின்னா ரொம்ப நிறைய இருக்குது சீடு இல்லாதனால. Okay, but generally I am telling you seedless fruits are not at all much nutrited value. அதாவது அந்தளவுக்கு சத்து நிறைஞ்ச ஒரு ஃப்ரூட் கிடையாது. ஸோ ஆல்வேஸ் ட்ரை டு ஈட் seed fruits. Okay, seeded fruits is better to increase and improve your nutrited value. Thank you.